Hello, everybody. This is Son of One. Thank you for coming to my live. I know it's a little bit early, but it's how things run sometimes. Um, get here a little bit early. I like you being early. I don't know why I do. So if I'm late, something's wrong with me, or something happened. So I'm always usually early. Choo, 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 choo. Well, this one says waiting for me. Oh, I got two of them out there. Dang it. All right, so maybe there we go. Hey, Tim, what's going on? Uh, straight out the B yard, believe it or not. I didn't do any splits today. I was busy building frames and waxing foundation. So I've been doing a good bit this morning or this afternoon. Uh, I've been right now trying to pin the link. It's trying to run away from me. But I should say Tim and Hannah. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting you, girl. You both are a super team. I got my uh, connection link up in the top pinned. If you'd like to come in and share this evening with me, um, I just got through building, like I said, building. Uh, Grayson's in here. Good, Grayson's here. Danae, Mike. Uh, Who? That's about it, really, right now. Oh, yeah, that probably. I didn't even know you texted me. See what's going on. Wonder if I was actually going to come on tonight or not. Did wasn't it? Let me see. Let me check my messages here on my phone while I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, I was out there put a couple deep supers on some boxes that are getting pretty good, big in size. I'm trying to get them to pull some cone for me. I got I just built 80 of those things. I'm wore out from doing that. So it ain't no little kid's job anymore. All right, Tim and Hannah. At what time am I going live? Okay, I just checked to see what that text was about. I didn't even know you had texted. I didn't do a video out there today. I'll probably do one tomorrow and just go and ride the wave tomorrow. Do the live tonight. Uh, Danae, you had 30-mile-an-hour winds today, snow and rain mix. Ooh, I feel for you there. Yeah, old DC always says, man, I live in the land of constant bees. And I'm actually pretty happy with where I'm at as far as the bees go, because I'm not completely locked out of the bees all winter, but I am careful about the temperature range when I go in them. But I actually provide people with yeah, lucky dog. I don't know how lucky that is. At least sometimes in the winter, I mean, it drives you nuts not being in them, but you know, at least you get a break from a bit from it. Uh, my girls are always flying, so I'm always checking to make sure they got enough feed. Make sure I don't have to get out there and put them some sugar water out. Like this year, I think I did pretty good because I didn't have to feed them but one time. One time. I'm talking about 10 gallons at one time. I let them take it, and I left them alone. They had enough sugar syrup and nectar to make it through. I think they still have some of that late year honey on them. Oh, so you lost, Mike? You lost some snow today, but it had 36 degrees and rain. It's still miserable. Yeah, it does. I mean, I say it's tired. I get tired, but really, I'm actually. Hey, Philip. Um, I'm actually glad that I'm able to get into the bees. I have been a lot calmer since I've been in the bees. Um, I don't get stressed out or as aggravated as much. So, I mean, they that is a plus. I wouldn't say I had post traumatic stress syndrome or nothing like that, but I've had a violent life in my past, and was prone to get angry really quick, and be defensive and fight. So uh, I've been I've been lucky. I've been blessed. God gave me temperance. I keep trying to add Tim here, but he don't want to add to my thing. Oh, come on, Tim, get in there, get in there. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Are we in?
Yeah, you're in finally.
Yeah, okay.
Buttons.
Well,
So,
I was going to show you before we get into yakking about beekeeping what Miss Hannah's in here doing.
what you
You're
making with
paying.
dope cake? You making dope cakes?
Well, let me get this camera turned around here. Camera. All right.
Now see, now I'm sitting here at the house by myself now, and you're gonna be teasing me with stuff.
I had no idea we were doing a cooking live, y'all.
Ooh, y'all know what's in that pot? Baby llamas,
Oh yeah,
deer sausage, jalapeno, and cheese.
I saw the pepper floating around in there.
And look,
Getting cornbread ready.
getting that cornbread.
Put me on camera. I was not
cooking live with Hannah on my stream. All right, that's good.
All right, we're getting cornbread ready.
Mm-hmm.
But
we're working on it anyway.
All right, I'll get you off camera now.
I appreciate that.
Cooking live with Hannah.
Okay.
Shoot.
Let me go.
That should be her stream.
Yeah.
Well, she had asked about you want to do a video on me making cornbread. And I told her, well, yeah. But
Lady went live instead.
Yeah, I jumped in here with you, Ed. So we'll do cornbread next time. Sorry about all the bumping around. I'll get settled in a second.
That's fine, man.
Yeah, y'all come join y'all. We get this in the oven first.
You got her on camera.
Yeah, they're on camera.
Seriously. Yeah. Sorry, Ed. My daddy's waiting on supper, though.
All right.
Trying to rush through this.
Oh, yeah. He found out she was making them beans and that deer sauce, and he was like, hey, y'all better send me a bowl of it over here.
Well, I like doing it. I like making a good spicy bowl of chili. Some sweet cornbread, put it in the bottom of the bowl and put the chili on top.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully that cornbread got some jalapeno in it.
No, I did pepper relish in the cornbread.
Can you hear?
Yeah, pepper relish.
Yeah, buddy, you talk about some fine cornbread whenever it comes out the oven. I'm not
Well, I know
much on the
that.
pepper relish by itself, but with her putting it in that cornbread, boy, it make your tongue slap your eyes out.
Well, I'll tell you another way it's good is if you make a Philly cheesesteak sandwich and you cook that relish into the meat while you're heating it up. That makes a good Philly cheesesteak too.
I bet it does.
You heard what he said?
Uh-huh.
No,
I just found a recipe for homemade Philly.
bingo. Appreciate that, Ed. That confirmed her recipe.
Confirmed her recipe.
Yep. She says she just found a recipe on what Philly steak and cheese or something.
Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
Philly
On
cheesesteak
the
sandwich.
Cajun side.
Slap that on a hoagie roll after it's been toasted.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, I'm all about too. A good old bowl of just pot liquor and some cornbread.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Especially with some greens. You get some turnips and collards going. Shoot, just hand me a bowl of that pot liquor and turn me loose with that cornbread. Make a meal of that.
Works good with hoe cakes too. I ain't had no cooking like that in a while. I need to come down there and visit with y'all. Stay a week. Come back fat.
You're more than welcome, Ed.
Come on, we'll feed you. There's a spot at the table, Bo.
You could probably make it in time for supper tonight.
Well, yeah, well, possibly, but girls have got the girls have got the car. I can take my motorcycle probably a little quicker.
Oh, you make it fast with that motorbike. Well, how'd your bees go? We'll get off the subject.
Well, I've not actually gone through them. I made the frames today, like I said earlier. Made 80 frames. I had 40 deeps and 40 mediums. So what I did is I made 2 deep supers and put them on the big boxes that were getting overcrowded. Put them up there to see if they'd start pulling some comb for me, and not queen cells.
Mm.
So that's about it. Tomorrow I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna go check a couple other boxes I've got and make sure there's no swarm cells. And if there is, well, I'm going to split them.
So is he up to 18 houses?
Yeah, did you get
No.
to your 18 yet?
I'm only 16 still. I didn't do that splits at all today because that's where I was gonna be 18 if I made the splits. But I didn't do that today, so that'll probably be tomorrow.
Well, you'll be there before you know it, brother. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna share this to our side of the riverbank, if you will. Get some more folks in here, maybe.
Yeah, Danae wants to come down and get a bowl too. Yeah, we got her drooling.
Y'all come on down.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Grayson come in, man. Grayson was in here a minute ago, or he just come in, check in, and that was it.
Yeah, jump in, Buddy Rowe, if you can. Tell us what you got going on over there.
And you got Philip here. He can come in and visit with us too. Because, all right, now who turned the chicken loose?
Oh, he's out there in the yard. They fixing to go in the cook pot they keep on.
Yeah,
Good pot of chicken and dumplings.
Fresh
Here we go
chicken, too. It'll be all organic. There ain't no GMOs, nothing in them jokers.
Just a bunch of worms, right? They've been eating out the yard.
Man, I tell you what, I think we told the story not long ago on ours, but one of them yard cats had gotten a blasted mole in the yard. And Hannah come in and told me, she said, look, that poor cat is just torturing that mole out there and it's still alive. You know, old yard cat. But about the time I go down the steps into the yard, buddy, we got a big old rooster. He looks about like a blue duckling, is what he reminds me of. But I went to go get that mold from that cat, and that rooster seen what was going on. And buddy, he went over there and he grabbed that mold, and about 2 gulps, it was gone. He done
Dang.
choked it down. Yes, sir. But hang on just for 1 second. I'm gonna go grab that laptop and see if I can get on the computer on that end. No. Okay. Well, we'll use this phone. See what's happening.
I was hoping to see Spanky in here tonight too. Spanky been putting a few lives out there.
Uh-oh. I heard him last night chirping about him dealing with migraines again. So I
Yeah,
hope
that's what he said.
fine.
Well, he texted me last night about that. Because I put on my posted for the live tonight. I also posted my phone number and my Gmail. I don't mind people getting in touch with me, asking questions or whatever. If I can answer it, I'll answer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anybody watching, y'all come to Ed's side. If y'all jumped on the gun line portion, we're just trying to get you some more folks out there, if you will.
Yeah. Richard B. Bernard, Bernier. I can't pronounce it, man. I'm slaughtering a man's name. Yeah, I see him all the time.
We watched. Some of y'all may know who they are, but what I say that people's name was Central Beekeeping, something like that. They up in Arkansas. I mean, I was looking at their profile and all that stuff. They got about 22,000 subs, and it just come across our feed. So it was talking about a monster swarm. So I hit it, and buddy, it sure wasn't no clickbait. If y'all get a chance, go watch that swarm that them folks got. But you talk about a bee.
Well, you talking about Central Bee Supply?
That's it.
Central Bee
That's
Supply.
it.
Yeah, they always get all kinds of stuff. He has his granddaughter and stuff out there, and grandchildren out there, the bees with them and stuff too. I see him. I haven't seen him lately, but I was watching him for a while back when Earl had a hillbilly bee chat.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I caught wind of that guy. That's way back because it's been a while since Earl's done a lot. The hillbilly bee chat. I wouldn't mind.
Go
ahead.
I'm fixing that. We emailed them and see if they maybe come on and join us one Sunday. They seem to be good folks, you know what I mean? But we'll see how it goes, kind of thing. But would enjoy to have them coming in and kind of tell their story and go through, I guess, a family business is what it appears that they got.
Yeah.
But is that what you was gonna say? I hope it wouldn't.
No, the thing is, I first started seeing them. They came on, or Bob was on a channel somewhere. I don't know if he's on their channel or they were on his, but I came across and I went and checked them out, and they were all talking about the Apis back then, Apis Biologics, and that's what got me interested in using the Apis. And I do it every now and again. Now I don't do it all the time. They grow too fast with that stuff, so I had to back off of it.
We used it in the piling sub this year and had good results out of it. Last year we done it more of in the open feeder. And like I say, man, we've had some awesome results using that APIS.
Yeah, they're Cora. That's her name. But Central Bee Supply, the girl that's on there sometimes with him, his young daughter. I thought it was his granddaughter, but it's actually his daughter. Someone's saying.
Okay. Yeah, because he had. I say that's okay. His daughter. She was out there with him, and I'm assuming his wife. She was videoing, and I don't want. Y'all know me. I'll give the spoiler alert away. I'll shut up in a second, but go check it out. It was exciting just watching it, even here at the house. You wasn't a part of it physically, but just seeing all of it go on, it was like, y'all, that was pretty awesome.
I was trying to figure out last week. You sent an article on something in a text. Was that from Bee Journal or something? Yeah, so it's too small for me to read.
It was either that or the essential oils for the mites from the National Institute of Health or something along those lines, where they done some kind of big study on the good effects of using different essential oils to remedy the mite situation in your colonies. And that may have been what it was that sent to you.
Yeah, I heard talking about that. I heard was listening to earlier today while I was doing some work that the Hispanic guy who does Inside the Hive, they were talking about something they're finding out about different natural oils and their effects on some of the bees. You know, they're trying to figure out a natural oil, I'm like an all natural type thing to get rid of mites and not affect the bees. And there's a couple oils that are left too long or do affect the bees, or the dispersal isn't proper on it or something, that they haven't figured it all out yet.
No, I haven't watched all of it.
Yeah, it was the oregano oil they were talking about. Richard said something, brought it up.
Okay.
It's an oregano oil mixed with thyme. Oh yeah, set off that fire alarm. It's oregano, thyme, and I think there's a couple other oils they were mentioning. I need to go back and listen to it, get a better understanding. Danae hollering fire. And tell Hannah to quit smoking in the kitchen while she's cooking. That sets some fire alarms off.
Sorry about that. It was just she had opened that cook pot in the oven, and that steam, that smoke alarm is right there by the oven and all. And that baby, thank goodness, it's sensitive to whatever, but she ain't burning nothing. I promise y'all that.
Mike just called 911.
I have a real timer, y'all, not the fire alarm.
Danae put some fire symbols in there, and Mike Tangwake said, "Call 911." I said, "We are 911, even though we're retired, but we're still 911." Yeah,
give me something to think.
Go ahead.
Give me something to think. Give me something to think about. People who go in the military take an oath to go to the military, to uphold that oath, right? To defend the Constitution and our country and everything that we stand for, right? They never take an oath to disavow from that oath ever. So you're stuck. Whatever oath you've taken, that's what you're still to be doing. Yeah.
They said.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of truth into that because I can't tell you how many times, and it still happens, that people will call us and tell us, hey, this is what's going on, broke leg, bleeding everywhere, whatever the case may be, and can y'all get up here? We're like, yeah, we'll get on up there. Then they tell us, well, we called y'all first instead of calling 911. We're like, you should have called 911 first, then call us. Kind of thing. But I don't know. It'll be with us till the day we die, I reckon.
Yeah, it's Danae's talking about Raz and Hannah. She says, love, live, y'all, girl, got a Raz a bit.
Mm-hmm. Then they rattle in your cage. Then they rattle in your cage.
What's she say? Oh, the fire. He burned it, y'all.
Well, she'll get on in here and settle down a minute after she gets all that going. And
I gotta wash these dishes real quick.
yeah, that dishwasher ain't working today.
Jasper probably taking a nap in his cage, right?
No, he's in the chair. He's waiting on the cornbread to get done.
Oh, you want that cornbread? You're taking a nap.
Mm-hmm. As soon as we go get them plates ready, he'll be sitting right here in front of us, waiting for his portion. But
that dog stumbled into a good life.
That joker is running. He got it made. That's for sure. I get kind of back on the bee situation. Sitting here and I was watching a few videos and my phone went to ringing, and me and Hannah was kind of just going over. We got to go up. We're gonna go up tomorrow and check on that trap out, see what the deal is with it. Then we're gonna check on Ollie Man's swarm trap up at Hannah's grandma's. Well, we was just chit chatting back and forth. What are we going to do? This and that. And all of a sudden, my phone went to ringing. My buddy Lane. And before I answered it, I told Hannah, I said, I bet you he's got a swarm. That's why he's calling right now. I answered it, put it on speakerphone, and I said, hey, where's that swarm at? And he's like, how'd you know that's what I was calling for?
They're in my house.
Oh, yeah. He goes, they're in my house. So we may have us a cutout video come Monday. We're going to go over there and see where they at, go on and get them out before they get built up too much in there.
Yeah. Be sure to put some swarm wrangler in that box. You're gonna put the bees in it. Part of the championship.
We're gonna put everything in there. We're gonna lemongrass them. We ain't got no more of the Commander stuff. We burned that stuff up about 3 years ago, and I just used that bottle to put that lemongrass in that thing. And
oh, that's right. You got those. You got those pucks. That's right.
Oh, hey, I've rubbed down everything around here with them jokers, and so far, we had the one big swarm take over the split that we did, and we think we haven't been in them yet because we're still waiting on the queens to hopefully come back from mating flights, but we're pretty sure another swarm went into one of the other splits. So we don't know if they just come in, took that over, and killed the queen cells or what. So about this time next weekend, we're going to go in and check those girls out to see if
Hey, Lisa.
But yeah,
Lisa,
hey,
come on in and see what we got going on.
I can't. What's Bruce's comment say? I can't see it for the heart.
He is getting his traps ready to go.
Okay. Hey, y'all. Well, I mean, it's getting time. It is getting time. Seeing a whole bunch of videos, folks already getting swarms, and hopefully everybody in the North Country will start thawing out here before too long, and they can join in the race.
My Japanese privet's getting ready to pop out in the backyard out there. The buds is just like straining. They're about ready to blow up.
Well, maybe this next rain system we're going to get, I think sometime this week, we'll go ahead and give it the fuel it needs.
Jeremy said he needs it to stop swarming. Yeah, Jeremy's down here over here near me.
Oh, is it?
Somewhere here in Dothan, yeah.
Okay. So he's in Sweet Home too, huh?
Yeah. He's been trying to keep them split and everything, and he's having swarms. He said, "You come get my swarms," and I'm like, "It have to be on the weekends." He said he's officially out of tops and bottom boards.
No, another fella.
And I tell you, Jeremy, all you gotta do is go to Lowe's, pick you some plywood up, make you some more.
I was just about that close to getting out there and doing that today. I got a little bit that Pastor Larry and Miss Jan sent us a little gift card for our birthday, and we allocated that money to buy some 1x12 to build a nuke box. And Anna, she was outside in the yard doing her thing, and I was just before dragging out the skill saw and starting to build some nukes. And me and Jasper got in there.
Jeremy started out this year with 3. He's at 31 hives now.
Goodness, I hear you, bro.
He's only got 93 deeps. 93 deeps, so I can't. He can't go much further. He only has so many deeps. Oh, there's Philip in the backstage.
Yep.
Bring Philip in. The Texican, yeah.
There you go.
Hello.
Welcome, Phil. How you doing, bud?
Good. I tell Hannah she needs to get on that camera. I got a bee sting in the lip, and I'm on here. She got to get over herself.
Uh-oh. You done got a fat lip, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you know that little zipper on the side of your veil they make so you can get a drink of water?
Yeah.
Didn't work, huh?
No, it worked fine, but you got to remember to zip it back up. I got one right here in front of my face. Can you see that? I just went out there and ran the weed eater. They're not real happy with me. But yeah,
Well, I don't know if you
I got it. I
seen
can't,
it yesterday.
somewhere right there. That's what
You get
people.
the stains out?
Some of it. I think so. It was in my mustache, I think. Some women pay a lot of money to get their lips swole up like that.
That's called Botox, not Botox.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. How y'all doing?
We're doing good,
We're
man.
doing good.
I don't know how much. I'm out here at the farm. You can hear me. I'm probably hanging up a little bit.
You're in Capella.
I'm in Richland.
Oh, Richland. Okay.
Yeah, I can't see any comments.
Yeah.
Probably a good thing.
I don't know. We'll see if anybody's picking on you.
You've only lost 5. You only lost 5 viewers when my fat lip showed up.
Michael Tangway says you lost, Phil.
You're right. I'll tell you what, that colony that got me, I mean, it was, well, actually, they weren't the one that got me. The one that I got in, the first one I got into this morning was crazy, aggressive. And I thought, it's kind of cloudy. It's a little cool and windy. But I'd forgotten to zip my suit up real good right at the collar. So I went back inside and got in the mirror and made sure it was zipped nice. And I unzipped that little side zipper to let the bee out. There's a couple of bees in there. And I hadn't, at that point, I hadn't got stung. So I zipped it up real good at the collar. One getting after you. I might see me get stung live in Technicolor. I got 2 or 3 of them bumping me. So I got it fixed at my collar, and then I went back out and did another colony. I actually did like 3 before all of a sudden I had more bees in my veil. And but that one, the one that got me below my nose, and I mean, it makes the whole, when you get it hitting around your nose, it makes your eyes water. You can't see. It's pretty bad on me anyway. But when I was trying to get back into the house, I realized I had when I let that bee out, I never zipped that side zipper on my veil back up again. It was just wide open. I'm lucky I didn't get it worse.
I was in a live one time. I think about it. Sometime last year, I was on a live, and I was on my cell phone, so I was opening up the box, shining my phone into the box. One got on the edge of my nose and curled right up and stung me in the inside of my nose. And
all over me. I got to come inside.
And DC was telling me that he said, I saw the tears in your eyes. I said, yep. I said, I'm not gonna lie, they hurt.
Yeah, those make your eyes. They make you go blurry.
Yeah.
I had to get up and come in. I had like 5 or 6 of them bouncing off my head. If I stood inside too much, the reception even gets worse. So I'm standing in the doorway.
Hey, some of them girls
Bees need to know that I'm the owner around here. Oh, that one that I was telling you about, when I hit it in front of that weed eater, they came pouring out of there. When I hit that weed eater in front of their colony. They got stung on their wrist. Oh, well.
Weed eaters are not a good idea.
At least not on the face.
They cause stings or swarms.
Now, this isn't Bob's Live. We don't have to have stings on it to be alive here.
Y'all see, I got the Bob Walker haircut going. I was trying to give myself a haircut, and I was trying to cut it about a ½ inch. And when I was doing it, the guard fell off the clippers, and it just went. And I went, well, nothing else to do. Take it on down. That's right.
Oh,
if y'all want to be in the video, just get on in front of the camera. Quit bouncing off my head.
Yeah.
These bees are wanting to get on. They're like Jasper. They want to get on the camera.
Shoot,
They're here alive.
Right up until that cornbread comes out, and he'll be wide awake.
Oh yeah. Once we get them plates put in front of us, he'll be sitting here too.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just been interesting today. I mean, tomorrow I gotta go through and see what I got in the way of cells. How many I'm gonna have to knock down because I don't have enough boxes. So I build boxes. So I may be running to Lowe's tomorrow to build some boxes too.
I went through.
Here you go.
Dead zone.
Freeze frame shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it. Do like James was. Take a picture.
Yeah. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Only 3 cells. only done 3 sales in all. Only.
Huh?
Yeah.
3 cells, you still chopping up. Dang. You must be on Verizon. Or were on Verizon.
I mean, that's the best network we got. We found is Verizon, using Verizon towers on these prepaid phones. We've tried everybody else, and man, you can't get nothing up here at the
Well-
house. But Verizon's better for us around here.
Well, the deal with Verizon, I do a lot. I have to put like in buildings, like the steel buildings and stuff like that. I end up having to put in with a cell repeater in those buildings because the Verizon is a good signal, but it's up and it's down. It fluctuates a lot, up and down. And when it comes to the steel buildings, it just interferes with it bad with the steel those tin buildings. So I end up putting cell repeaters in buildings and stuff.
I told
Are
him
you
to
on
come
that
over
side?
and I flipped over ours just to see and told everybody.
We listen to you, brother. She's just trying to get folks from our chat to come over here on your side.
See if Phil can make it back in. He's trying.
He's trying.
Oh, he's got his veil on.
Covered up now.
Oh, good grief.
I can't get reception inside, so I got to come out here and brave it. Yeah, I look like an astronaut now.
Safety first, bro. Safety first.
Hey, you
They
say
can still get
Astro-
me.
Houston, the bees have landed.
I'm pretty
Well, Ollie-
exposed, though. They can still get me. They
I hope
can't get to my
not.
face.
I know Ollie told me that
Mm.
last time our nephew Ollie came over and he was going to make his little bee video. Well, Handy Boo, won't you come down there with me? And I was like, no, buddy, I can't go down there without a suit on. Well, why don't you put your astronaut suit on? Then you can get in them with me. I was like,
That astronaut suit on.
babes.
About what it is.
We got a little video of his, and I finally figured out the editing on it. And we'll share the video, but I was able to take and cut out. He did a little outro for us, and every bit of this was just him and his world. We didn't coach him on nothing or anything. He just took the camera, went and did his little thing, then come back, and we had no idea that he was going to do an outro for Gunline Bees. And y'all, it's awesome in our world what that little fella did as far as the outro. But I've got the little piece, and I'll share it. It's probably about 30 seconds, but we're thinking about sticking that on the end of every single one of our videos of him. You know,
Just because it's so awesome.
I forget how.
And we didn't even tell him what to say.
Let me see if I can get it to pull up, let you at least listen to it. Where'd you put it in? Abby's messages?
Yeah.
I mean, in the bees lately, they haven't been wanting to sting too much. I mean, I've gotten hit a couple times, but it's not like they usually are this time of year. It's just before the flow too, so they've been pulling something in. But so Jeremy thinks that we're going to have something starting here soon. He's right down the road from me.
All right,
The
listen.
volume's all the way. It's gonna echo.
Is it going to echo?
So that Gunline Bees.
Let me know if it echoes.
Well, guess that's it for today. See you next time at Gunline Bees.
Oh, man, that's great.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's really
Oh, hey, Lisa.
Hey, Grammy.
Hey,
Yeah, she snuck in on us.
I figured I'd come in since Hannah was in here. I'm a hot mess. We've been busy this weekend.
So when we having some rabbit steak?
It's in the oven right now.
Oh man, I can get you her house quicker than I can Hannah's.
I picked carrots Friday night, canned them, well, prepped them Saturday. No, what's the day? Saturday.
Yeah.
I picked them in Thursday night, prepped them last night and canned them. And then, let's see, I left some I didn't can because I had the two batches. I pulled almost 30 pounds out of that little box, Ed.
Dang.
Yeah, I got 28 pints of carrots put up. And
Good.
then today, Casey, my son, and his friend came over and we butchered 3 rabbits and got them cut up, and I sent them home a rabbit since they came over and helped. And the other one's in the oven with some of my carrots and some potatoes. We'll have Hassenpfeffer.
Hassan Pfeffer. Huh?
Hassenpfeffer.
Try to get Charlie to say that.
Yeah, right. So, and I went over to, I don't know if I ever told y'all this. Well, I know I've told y'all the story about me getting bees, getting my first 2 hives, the established hives. And he's still trying to downsize. He's 81 years old now. And so he's shaking some bees in some boxes for me. And I'm going to go pick a couple of them up tonight after sundown. Bring them home and add them to my bee yard. And then I'm going to go back and get a couple more boxes from him another day. But, yep, he's trying to, my favorite sweet and sour rabbit. I'm actually, I did this with some ghee. I melted up some ghee and I put onions and garlic and thyme and salt and pepper and braised it.
Ooh.
And then I do my carrots. When I roast carrots, I do those with honey and red pepper and olive oil. And then I just throw it on a sheet pan and let it cook. So
You keep
we'll
talking like
see.
that, Lisa. This could be a short live.
It's
I'll
gonna be short for me because I'm fixing to go in just a few minutes and eat dinner before we go pick up those bees. Oh, speaking of bees, since this is a beekeeping chat, I had split my horizontal hive. Y'all know I went and took that little nuke that Pink was in. That's
Nah,
just wrong,
cornbread.
Kim. Cornbread, or is that a buttermilk pie?
This cornbread.
Oh,
There's
I
something.
didn't do no cornbread.
And there's some beans, lima beans.
I love some
Beautiful.
ham and lima beans now. But anyway, I took that nuke with and put with Pink in it and stuck it in the horizontal hive, and I thought, I'm taking my chances. This is a little 5-frame box, and I got a 20-frame compartment in there that I put them in. You know, and I split them. Well, I thought I left Pink in the main box and put a cell in the nuke box. Well, actually, it was 2 queen mating nukes, and I pulled out the divider board to use it as a nuke in that horizontal hive. And Pink is in the nuke. I thought Pink was in the other part.
Uh-oh.
no.
Little Pink.
Uh-oh.
Pink has a daughter, Virgin Queen, in that big chamber.
Oh.
So I got me a new queen in there, and they have filled up 15 frames of nectar, pollen, and of course there was brood in there before I split them. But they have got almost 15 frames full.
Man, they are
Goodness.
rock.
You go,
You'll
girl.
be happy. You'll be happier with that young queen in there as time goes on.
Well, I think so too, but I'm going to have to get some more equipment. I had to go today. I had to get in touch with our local guy that does have some supplies. He gets them from Rossman in Georgia. And I texted him, and they were already closed. And I texted him, I said, look, I need 4 mediums and some frames because I'm going to run out of boxes. And I said, I had an overabundance last year. We didn't get any kind of honey crop. And this year, these girls in the horizontal hive have already almost filled them up. And my other boxes I didn't go into today. But man, they're bringing in the nectar. Those are some busy bees out there.
You
That's
talking about
awesome.
you talking about Millie's out there? Is who you talking about? You
No,
talking?
no, 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 no. We've got a guy in Ozark now that's selling some stuff.
Oh,
So yeah, so it's at the Farmer's Daughter. His name is Lynn Hughes, and he puts together boxes, and he has frames already assembled. The boxes already painted and everything. So I went out and picked 4 of them up today because I took 4 boxes out to Mr. Mon's house for him to shake those bees in. I was like, that was all of my supers.
uh,
They didn't have any nukes put together, and I didn't have any deeps put together to put for him to put them in boxes. So I'm fixing to grow.
What we
well,
got
I've
That's
to
been growing.
Well, I hadn't, so I'm growing this year, and I'm hoping to go into winter with about 20 to 25.
You can do it.
awesome.
So, well, I split off those the 6 into Demarays, so that'll give me 12 if they take.
Mhm.
And then I have that horizontal hive I split in 2, so that'll be 14. And then I'm getting 4 boxes from him, and probably get another 6 or 8 boxes from him later. So we're
You
gonna
got a
try to
plan.
do. Well, I got a plan this year, right? I got a plan, so hopefully it's gonna work.
It will.
well,
Please, it
Yeah.
will.
I think I got 8 out of my 16 that I can actually have as production hives this year.
Mhm. Well, that's
If
good.
I don't, and I got like I said 16. I may have 18 tomorrow.
Mhm.
I'm thinking, depending on the
Mhm.
what I find when I go through them.
Mhm.
A couple of them I put some deep supers on for them to start pulling wax. I had 80 frames. I came in the other day and I built them and waxed them today.
Mhm.
So I put a couple of them out there to see if they'll start pulling them.
Well, my girls are pulling comb like crazy, so that's a good thing. That's what I need them to do. Now if they'll
Well,
just
Absolutely.
that's
fill them up with nectar.
well, that swarm I had come in that pulled a bunch of fresh comb.
Mhm.
I mean, they took off, and I think it was in 10 days they filled. I had one empty frame in there.
Mhm.
They went to it and started pulling it right away, and they had filled it up and built the whole frame in 10 days.
Mhm. Dang. That's
Ain't it
pretty.
amazing how them swarms just get it immediately whenever they get in and get established in whatever they want to make home out of?
Yeah, that's one of the most amazing things to me is them building comb. And there's a lot of amazing things that goes
Shit.
on, but that shooting wax chips out from their abdomen, that's just a cool thing to me.
The,
It's just cool.
Jeremy made a comment here talking about the queens he's caught
Mhm.
swarms 3 weeks ago. The queens are laying faster than they can build the comb and
And
re-swarming
Bruce,
again.
holy cow!
She putting
Well,
a
when
I
I
perfect.
hadn't caught any swarms this year.
when I first started doing this, it blew me away. No one ever told me that they would when they started building the comb, they'll start filling it with nectar and then keep on building it or laying it. She'll lay an egg in it after it gets so deep, and
Mhm.
then they'll continue to build that comb out with that egg in there.
Oh, cool.
And
I
and
didn't know
I
that
never
either.
knew that. I saw that and I'm like, what in the world? That's not deep enough for that egg. And just kept looking at it
Mhm.
and went back and checked it. And by the time I went to check it, they had built it and capped it. I'm like, okay,
Wow. Wow.
Well,
Hang on a sec. I need to go check dinner.
all right.
it's one of them. Hey, y'all know what y'all doing. We just here to reap the benefits, if you will, for the honey and everything else. But Ed, if it's all right with you, I was gonna save this for our live tomorrow, but I just can't hold it back anymore. Hannah looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what are you fixing to say?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She don't. But start a great debate. Okay. You hear it. I don't know if it's the way the word. It's just one word, and I'll get to it in a moment. But some folks in the southern region say it one way, and in the northern region it's said another way. But is it propolis or propolis?
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going there. Yeah.
Which one is it? I'm going for propolis. But then, like, say I watch other folks' videos and they're saying propolis, and I'm like,
Yankees
which
spell
one is
different
it?
than we do.
Well, I mean, I
Well,
know
it's
that.
tomato. If you think about it, it's the same spelling, it's the same word, just the way people pronounce it, and a lot of it, I believe. I've been listening to it saying, well, which is it really? But it doesn't matter. You're talking about the same thing. It's the same
Mhm.
product. That little baggie right there, full of it, right there.
Full of propolis or propolis?
Propolis. Love it's not toad. Lee said I
Pro.
thought it was a dishwasher announcement.
Yeah, that's coming. It's coming.
Mm.
Hey, Tim,
Yep.
dishwasher announcement.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
The hands.
Mhm.
Yeah. He don't know just how quick he's getting to that point.
Well, I mean, I did wash a plate and a knife earlier. Whenever she asked me to cut that deer sausage up, I got that done.
You just said them words out loud.
Yeah, I washed a plate and a knife. And put them in the dryer thing.
Mm.
The
By
basket.
myself.
Mm-hmm. We'll
I got a
fix
few
it.
more minutes.
Thank you, Grammy, for coming back so we can end this conversation. How's your bees, Grammy?
They are busy, 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 busy bees.
He's just trying to divert Lisa.
I know. I heard it. It was in my ears the whole time. You
Oh,
know,
Bless your propolis.
I have heard it pronounced both ways, and I think I pronounce it both ways. Some
I
days
say-
it's propolis, some days it's propolis. It depends on which way my mouth wants to turn.
I don't like propolis.
But there is no
Probably
debate about pecans or pecans. There's no
It's
debate.
pecans.
It's pecans. Yeah.
That's right, it's pecans.
or Coke or Pop.
Well, I've even heard soda.
Well,
You
I've
get
been
asked-
around I've been around my husband for 41 years now, and he came from New York, and I got used to calling it soda. But now when I order something, it's Diet Coke.
Well, see down here, you get asked if you want a Coke, and then the
Mhm.
next question is what
What
flavor.
kind? I know. I know. It was Coke. Everything was Coke for me for years. But like I said, when Kevin and I started dating and then we got married, everything was soda. And he did. He called it pop and he called it soda. So I don't know.
no.
Stick-a-lot-a-less. I like that. Stick-a-lot-a-less.
It
Instead of
just sticks
propolis.
to everything.
It does. It sticks to everything. Bee glue.
Uh-huh.
Bee glue. I'm
That's
on
what
my
deep.
phone, so I can't see the comments unless I flip over there, and then I can't see y'all. I had so much mess on my table in there that I couldn't get to my computer to boot it up, so I was like, oh, I'll just go get on for a few minutes on my phone. But I did a live with Yappy the other night. That was fun. That was a hoot. Absolute hoot. Yeah. It was, I think it was on, I want to say it was Thursday night. So Ricky, I told him, I was like, Ricky goes on Thursday nights, and he's like, I need to get a live in. I need to get a live in on his new channel. So I told him, I said, well, you're competing with Ricky, and I said, you're competing. I think David Burns was on somebody's channel. Um, no, it was Hives for. I think Hives for Heroes was doing a thing with David Burns. So I was like, well, but we had. I think we had about 27 people in there, about on and off.
I do have to say, on the end of the Hives for Heroes, it is wonderful seeing so many people pushing that and trying to
Mhm.
get that out for the men and women in the program. So everybody that's doing that, give yourself
Mhm.
a pat on the back for taking and getting that
Yeah.
information out there for everybody.
Well, I enjoy it. I enjoy, talking about it. And the man I'm getting these bees from, he's actually a veteran. And asked him, of course, he don't do internet stuff. And I mean, he's lucky if he texts me. But I asked him, I told him, about Hives for Heroes. And he goes, that's pretty neat. He's a good old man. He's really, really nice man. And he enjoys the company and loves talking about bees and but he says, Lisa, he says, I'm 81 years old. And he said, I've got too many bees. He said, he said, I'd like to keep about 3 or 4 hives. But he's got, I think he was up to 70 colonies. And I think he's around 50 now. So he's trying to get rid of some of his bees, and I'm trying to help him. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, I'll help you with some of Pink's daughters. I can get rid
I
of some of
tell
those
you,
for you.
I'm so proud of that. I am just so proud I got that little virgin queen. I'm like, I'm so excited. I hope she gets out and gets mated. But we went, I told Deirdre, she came over this afternoon. I was like, we really need to go in there because we dropped a cell in there. And of course, the cell was no good. I apparently damaged it when I put it in there. And I said, but I need to get in there and check. And I was like, I'll be dadgum. There's Queen or Pink. I said, Deirdre, we got we got one day old larva in here. I didn't see any eggs, but I saw one day old larva, so I knew there was eggs. I said, our queen's in here. So we pulled another frame, and there she was. I said, I'll just be dang if that queen ain't in there. She says, that means we got to go over there to the main chamber. So we went over to the main chamber, and she's going through the frames and holding them up. And she picked one up. I was like, look at that pretty comb they're drawing out at the bottom because I put a medium frame in there, and they drew that pretty white comb at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And she clicked, or she kind of turned one way. I was like, oh wait, turn that back over. And she turned it back over. I said, there's our queen right there. It's a virgin. I said, there ain't no eggs in here. I said, she just hatched. So there's a couple more queen cells in there that are capped. So I figure she'll probably get over there and sting them and then go out on her mating flight.
What's the color this year? To mark them things. I ain't even looked that up.
Green.
Green, yep.
And I got me a lime green pen. That way I can see it.
Neon line.
They had those lime green pens up at the Bee Expo, and I grabbed me one up.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do some marking soon.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through and check those to really look for those queens and those the swarm for one. I think was a virgin queen swarm because I've not seen a marked queen in there, so I gotta really look to see tomorrow. And I know I made 2 splits that need to be marked. The queens need to be marked. They're laying now,
Hmm.
so I gotta locate them and get those marked. I'll be pretty busy tomorrow between doing all that and splitting, and might be a long video
I'm
coming.
working tomorrow. So Didra's coming over tomorrow while I'm at work, and she's going to package up some soaps and get them labeled and everything. And she's working on the Etsy store. She's taking it easy tonight. Her husband was in a wreck yesterday. He dumped his big rig over. So
Oh man,
yesterday
Yeah.
morning, somewhere over close to Monroeville. So he's fine. it just turned over on its side. He was going a little bit too fast around a curve, and he just turned it over on its side.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
thank God
So
he's
y'all pray for him. His name is William. And of course the company let him go because he wrecked it. So
Yeah.
he's got to find another job. So y'all keep him in your prayers.
You said that's Deirdre's husband?
Mhm. He's real sore from the wreck, but he's okay. He just got banged up a little bit. But
Well,
he's feeling kind of bad because, he really liked that job, and I guess they monitor by GPS on the speed and everything. And he said, "Man," he says, "Well, we gotta separate ways." He said, "Because you were just going a little bit too fast." So,
It sucks.
yeah, it does. So hopefully he can get a job here real soon. But just don't mention if Deirdre comes in the chats or anything. Just let her, just keep them in your prayers.
we'll do that. Yes, ma'am. We'll just put it alongside you with an unspoken.
Yeah.
She gone.
She go. I guess she
Well,
dropped or
really,
she got off.
if that's his only ordeal on his record and all that, hopefully he won't have too much issue finding another job, especially with them CDLs. Folks are constantly looking for people with a CDL drive.
Yep, that's true.
It
Even if he
happens.
works in a yard, even if he works in the yard, someone's yard for a while, pick up and pull in a yard, he can make some money doing that.
No, yeah.
And then if he has a hazmat, he might be able to drive like a cement truck or something like that.
Mhm. Well, I hate that for the fella, but I mean, it happens. Just an honest accident kind of thing. But
PJ said it's time for supper.
it ain't gonna be long. We're
Yeah.
gonna be digging into them beans and cornbread. Uh, trying to think of what else I can go on around here, but save a little bit for tomorrow night on our end.
This week.
I'm fixing to have me some ham. I'm fixing to have me some ham later.
Yeah.
Honey ham?
Yeah, no, this smoked ham. I like the salty ham more than I put honey on it, but I like the salty ham better.
Okay. Fix it. Just put a little bit on there, Ed. Gotta have a little on it.
Yeah, especially my honey.
There you go.
Mhm.
Well,
You don't eat your own honey.
We'll make it good.
that'd be good. Well, I mean, so far, things are really looking up much, much better as far as the season, and just watching everybody else's videos too. It's looking like it's going to be an all right season for many, many of us. And hopefully we can get caught up between what we lost last year.
That's a prayer anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm planning on hopefully pulling some frames of honey tomorrow too, out of these hives, because to keep them from being start backfilling everything.
Mhm.
Pull some honey and spin it out. Probably put some new frames in to get them to pull comb on them. I bought the double wax frames and still went and put more wax on them. So I'm wanting them to pull those things quick.
That's something we're gonna have to go do is take a trip over to Mississippi and get some frames.
Mm-hmm.
We are from what we're packing out in the horizontal hive. I mean that's 60 frame. No, yeah, 60 frames alone between those two horizontals, and we're just kind of depleting our Langstroth boxes, filling up the horizontals. So we're gonna have to go get, I don't know, probably good 60, 70 frames between here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same company, the guy that I talked to, Charlie, whatever his name is, Charles,
Mm-hmm.
where you're going, probably where you're headed to. They charged me, what was it? I had 40 deep frames and 40 deep foundations, 40 medium frames and 40 medium foundation. He charged me $1.25 per item. Right. So the 40 frames came out to $50. Everything came out to $50. Plus
Mm.
shipping was $260 for all of it. And
No.
that was being from Virginia.
Well,
If you're going to
we
pick it
should,
up,
yeah, we should be able to save a little bit. Not, I mean, I don't imagine the shipping was too terribly much. Probably what, $40 having all that mess shipped.
60 for me. He
Ooh,
sent it. He sent it from Virginia. He said he could have had sent it from Mississippi, but he wasn't sure if it's probably going to be about the same amount because it's the same weight to the same company.
that's great. The shipping cost you just as much as the frames, kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. Well, if one set of the frames is $50, and shipping costs 60, so it's like 1/4 the price of what I paid for them was was shipping.
But it's one of them things you gotta have it. But
Oh yeah. Well, if I wouldn't have tried to cut my thumb off, I would probably try to make more frames again, but I'm not doing that. That's too small cut. I'll cut the big pieces, not the little pieces. Yeah.
Mm.
No, not unless I'm trimming something off of something big,
Mm. I don't have the patience. I mean, that's what we do all day, every day, anyhow, cutting into some kind of lumber, building something. And when it comes to them small, tedious, doing them frames, I just assume, we'll buy them. We'll build our boxes, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to them frames and stuff, I don't have the time. And really, between the both of us, to sit down and invest that part of the time into building stuff, it just comes out cheaper for us
it
to
gets
buy.
tedious. Cause I had enough for maybe to start 60 frames. The material. I just chucked it in the fire after I cut my thumb. I said, screw that. I just chucked it all in the fire.
I'm
It's too
done.
small to use for anything else,
Mm. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there which I mean, I imagine they got a little more time, if you will, or especially if you're retired, then yeah, I'd probably do it then just to occupy myself. But right now, we ain't even nowhere near retirement, so it's just we'll take a trip 45 minutes down the road and go talk to that old boy. And a lot of times, I'll try to barter with folks, and sometimes it works out, and sometimes it don't. But hey, I'm gonna put it out there and see what kind of deal we can get.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I was doing that with eggs for a while, and then Grammy started giving them to me. So I always have anywhere between 16 to 18 dozen eggs. It seems like.
You have trouble getting rid of them?
No, I eat them.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, I go to pick them up from Lisa. She's not far from me. She's probably about 30 minutes from me. Yep. Yeah. Here she goes and says, "I need to come by and pick up some more."
There you go. We
Yeah.
did it for a while, and it got to the point where we was getting so overrun with eggs you know, we'd sell some, then we'd take a bunch of them to church on Sunday and set them out for folks. Well, hey, get what you want. Then it got to where, you know, everybody had plenty of eggs, and what we was putting up, it just, man, day after day, you got to go out there and pull them eggs to make sure, you know, get them while they're clean. Because if you don't, you know what's going to happen to them. The chicken's going to step all over them, and it's going to be a mess. And I'm kind of glad our chicken situation has dwindled down quite a bit.
Jeremy over the winter made 900 frames.
Made 900 pounds?
Made 900 frames.
Yeah, correct. I hear you, brother.
Shoot, that's a lot of time investment.
Well, then, too, I mean, think of the money the man saved on that end, though. Like I say, if you sit down and do it, absolutely, you'll save.
And yes, he did
money.
from scratch. See, that's what I was using too, Jeremy. I was using pallet wood, and I was using some cedar, and it decided it wanted to kick back on me. He said he uses a bandsaw, which
Got a little jig set up too.
I probably does.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine if he gonna be doing that, making that many at once. You know, he probably has a little jig set up.
Let me check and see.
Yeah, Jeremy picks pine pallets just for that same reason, because the cedar wants to kick back.
Well, Philip's saying he used 2 before there. But somebody sent us a pardon me. Somebody sent us an email. I think it was Robert. Lord, I'm gonna butcher his name. Anyway, Robert with the R for the last name. I don't want to butcher it, but of some boxes he built, and he done some, I think, out of cedar and some different kind of pine and all that. But he had probably 40 boxes stacked up where he had built. But I know, like DC saying, that cedar is real soft, and that crown is going to turn on you much more than, say, a yellow pine or something like that. But I'm quite partial to that cedar, I guess, just because the beauty of the wood grain in it, especially if you get a red cedar.
Oh yeah, put a clear coat on that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, those
DC's
dovetails.
talking. Yeah, cutting head dovetails. Yeah. These feather boards for running grooves at the top and bottom.
I got you. Okay.
That's true though. Cedar does last longer because you don't have too much in the way of pests causing it to rot fast.
Mm-hmm.
I love the smell of cedar.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I could sit there and smell that all day long. I'd wear that as a cologne. Now, like our 2 horizontal hives down there that we talked about, Brother Joe, he's going to be with the Lord now, but when he surprised us with those 2 horizontal hives, I mean, he built them out of cedar and cypress, and we put, I think, 2 coats of marine varnish on them, and they ain't been sun bleached or anything like that. They look just as they, you know, come off the mill day before yesterday. But
Jeremy said he still has 150 frames left. He ran out of foundation. Put them in the box. Have natural foundation.
There you go.
Let them pull. Let them pull their own.
Use it for what everybody call it, chunk honey.
Chunk honey, or cut honey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Dennis, that's that cedar I imagine will help with moths because we got, what do you call them things? Old timey.
Ship road.
Yeah, old timey shipperos. And one was my grandma's, and I know that thing is probably 80 plus years old. And another one we had got from a gentleman, he was selling at a yard sale. And I can't, we didn't pay about $10, $15 for it, but it's cedar as well. So there's got to be something. I've always heard old timers say, cedar will keep them moths away.
Well, that's why they used to make those hope chests out of cedar. Because you never knew how long it was going to take that girl to get married, so you put that stuff in there to keep it safe.
Mm. Yeah. Let me see if I can get the camera turned around and show you all the things.
Don't look at the rest of my house though.
Ain't nothing wrong with the house. The women and don't look at the house.
It looks lived in.
Oh, it does that.
Hey, she keeps a good house, yeah.
Yeah.
There, the one on the right there is my grandma's. Then the one up there on the left is the one we had gotten from the sale.
Good. It looked good. I remember seeing them when I came over. You and in that fish tank, your egg hatching tank.
Yeah, she finally got me to get the one aquarium out of here. The poor man's incubator outside, stored right now, if you will. But as soon as we get some more, I'm gonna fire that baby back up.
I'm surprised you don't have cells right now, or them trying to make cells.
We had, when we did that inspection, the video we put out today, tomorrow, it'll be available for just everybody to watch, but we set it for the members to watch today. But will we get 9 sales out of Valentine?
I don't remember. It was a bunch.
Yeah, it's about 8 or 9 sales out of, y'all hear us talk about Valentine down there, and that's where we did the 3 splits. And my buddy Lance, we had went to his house, I don't know, 2 or 3 days after we worked down here. And that's whenever we got into the whole boom truck situation and all that. But just about every box we got into his had swarm cells. So we've got a little bit more room to where we can do some splitting. But after that, it'll be turning into, yeah, I'm going to tinker around with the poor man's incubator again. And I'm going to disprove some of that science again with temperature and hatching queen cells.
Yeah, Jeremy was asking me. I use plywood, about 3/4 inch plywood. Sometimes half for like my supers. It's usually what I make. So it's usually what I use, just to be quick with it. And I just make a plain box. I don't do the rabbits or nothing. I just put it together. Later on down the road, when they start making some more money, I may buy the proper stuff to make better boxes.
Hey man, whatever works kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I'm a skin flint. Skin flint beekeeper.
If you can get that free lumber off of jobs, or somebody says, go dig through that stack of wood I got right there. Don't think that this one here wouldn't go rummaging around and see what you got. and load the truck up and head home with it.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with it. Now, there's been a few times I went and bought that a sheet of plywood, and I had to cut it in quarters to get it in the car. Yeah, I had to cut it in quarters, so it ended up being 2 foot by 4 foot, 4 pieces, and that made me 3 deeps and 4 supers.
Well,
And
there
then,
you go. You got to the house.
yeah, and I'll use scrap lumber to build the bottom boards. Bed slats make a beautiful migration lid. It's a heavy migration lid, but it works.
Mhm.
What I did is I trim the sides down, take clamps, and glue them together. Let them set like that. Trim them down, sand them down, then put my cleats on the end, and that's it. I mean, it's a pretty good. It doesn't warp for sure.
Now, if I can get old Ian Stepler on the phone, I was watching one of his videos a week or so back, and I've got a good idea how he can feed his bees while they're in storage with the lids on and bottom boards, and not worry about not being able to feed, because he had mentioned he wished that he could feed somehow, putting the fondant in his colonies. And that got me to think, I'm one of them that just, my brain to get to Hannah. I tell Hannah all the time, I got a new invention. I got a new invention. But I was telling her, I said, this'll work. I don't see why somebody ain't already done this, but I mean, tell Ian, hey, look, this is my idea. I'm not studied, worried about making any money off of it. If you do, send me a check every here and there, whatever. But I'm pretty sure that this would help you be able to feed your bees and not get into them, disturb them, or anything. You can just feed your bees, even with them stacked in a storage building.
Yeah, well, we don't. That's why we have some of the stuff we have today, because people just keep experimenting. You know, some of the stuff they make, we probably really don't need. Yeah, for doing what we do.
I've got 3 ideas that I have actually sat down and drew up for beekeeping. And I'm pretty sure that these ideas would no problem take off, but the whole deal is you got to do the patent search. You got to pay to get a patent on all of it. Then, pay a lawyer to do all his whatever he's got to do in order to actually have a patent. So the one I think that actually make us money to start with, that'll be the puppy that whenever we get to the point to where, okay, look, we're actually going to patent this idea, then I'm fairly certain it'll take on off, no problem. But you just got to get the funds up to pay for all that mess.
Family come home. So the family come home.
You in trouble now?
Yeah, I'm in trouble. They bust me on live.
Mhm.
Another live.
Another one. You and
No,
that
they didn't
gun.
say that. Yeah, me and Tim always hanging out on the live.
Oh, well.
And they brought me dinner. I guess you could, yeah. Hold on a second, guys.
Yeah. Uh-oh. It's that dead silence for a moment. Yeah.
on you. It's not.
Yeah, they
We
were
saw-
chit chatting on the side here.
We saw Dirt Boy.
Dirt boy.
Oh yeah, this little kid actually
He was a touch kid.
he actually bent over and licked the ground.
Mm,
And then he came out and he's like wiping his tongue and getting the dirt off.
They went to a place out here we call Landmark Park today. They had like a bluegrass festival, and they told me they found a little dirt boy. I guess. Well, he's getting his minerals he needs in his diet.
there you go. The micronutrients.
Micronutrients, yeah.
He was touched.
He was touched, she said. He was on the spectrum, I think.
Mm.
Well, I reckon a lot of towns is doing their little get together. So, you know, Keith Spillman, he had he went up and what they call that? I forget what they called that event they had, but he took his half track out there and went and showed it off, took the Jeep down there, showed it off, but we'd have enjoyed that.
Mhm.
All them old timey tractors and things. Man, you talk about we'd have had a good
Yeah.
time.
Hey, Mike, Minnesota Mike, I should say. Yeah, you know, that's the thing too. You know, we got festivals all the time, all over the place. It's like try to trace them down, track them down, and stuff. I probably spend more time doing that than doing the bees. I never get the honey drawn. Hey, Ian, how you doing?
That Ian
Ian
Stepler?
popped in. As Ian Stepler popped in. You were
Look,
talking
man.
about the devil. He showed up.
Sure did. Send me an email. I got something for you, brother, to help you out on your feeding. And it ain't crazy talk. I got an idea. Gunlinebees@gmail.com.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Ian usually pops in here from time to time. He's been on a lot of our lives lately. He's been on Bob's,
Mhm.
and he was on Charlie's last night actually. Yeah. So I
And
mean, he's been.
too shy to go on a live.
yeah, too shy to come on Gun Lines Live.
Yeah.
Let me put that out there.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it is awesome. Ian coming in and
He supports
Chatting.
everybody.
yeah, even though he's a commercial dude, he's out for the greater good for everybody. Whether you got a colony or 1,000 colonies, he's willing to help everybody, and that's pretty cool in my book.
Yeah.
Lee's back and back and forth. He said I'm on both sides of the line.
Between ours and
And
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. See, Ian was laughing at you, man. Or either that or he was laughing at Lee. I don't know which.
He's probably laughing at all of us.
yeah, everybody them crazy Southerners down there. What they talking?
Mm.
Yeah, I saw he had some a video. He had one out. I saw of his new yard. I think where he took out 4 trucks out in the yard. You can hear the bees on the video. I mean, they were all over the place.
Mhm.
I'm sure he was getting shat on too, but
All over the
Yeah.
place.
Well, imagine how you feel trying to get to the house. You're 10 minutes from the house situation, having to hold it in. Them girls have been holding it in for months. It's
Yeah.
one of them. I'm going first, y'all. I don't care. It's time.
our bees out here get out a good bit, and still during spring they'll nail my car.
He just
It's
had
all
some
it'd be
bees.
all over my car.
She got a message
Great
from her daddy. Bring me them beans and cornbread.
Yeah, he waiting on them beans.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it was good to see. He's to the point now to where his bees can get out and fly. Because I think James, he got his bees out of the shed about 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately, Brad had his situation with losing so many colonies on his end, but it's seeming like the guys up there in the Canada, they able to, start to get out and beekeep a little bit now.
Yeah. Is it Canada or is it Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The propolis and propolis thing.
Yeah, I went back to that on purpose.
Mhm.
All right, Ian, join in on this debate. Is it propolis or propolis?
It's propolis.
Propolis. Need to do a survey.
Yeah, yeah, probably. It's spelt the same, so. So I mean that's funny. Jeremy still calls it stickalotolus.
I'm gonna have to remember that. I'll be done forgot it by the time we get off here and have to come back and look and see what it says.
And Sarah got been out in the apiary. She says she's refreshed again. Yeah, it's a stickalotolus is what he calls it.
Well, Hannah was telling me what she did. She got a couple splits, you said?
She split one of her colonies today.
Okay, split one of her colonies today. Bro.
There's-
Yes, sir. Lee.
Do what?
Lee is saying propolis, not prop.
Lee knows how to talk.
That's it. We talk right down here. You may not be able to understand half of what we're saying, but we know what we're saying.
So propolis is correct. Propolis is just being lazy.
Okay. Now I watched last year, I think it was, and I think it's on Mr. Bob Benny's channel. I'm gonna say like one of their beekeeping get-togethers up there, but some woman, somebody in the chat may know what her name is, but I sat down and actually watched her video on just the whole everything of propolis. How many different, you can have several different 100 type saps in there, the actual benefits. And this lady went through the whole kit and caboodle on propolis, and you're thinking, all right, there's a whole lot more to this stuff than what we realize when it comes to the bees collecting this stuff, what they're using it for, besides the obvious of, they're sealing up cracks and holes, and we know they're taking and using it for antibacterial and things like that. You have to read that to me. I can't see it.
It says yes. Nature's recombined to something in the works with the natural extract mite control product. Our tech transfer program has been running trials.
Well, Lord willing, y'all can get on something to knock that mess out. That way, folks can have much healthier colonies.
My thought about it is, like I was thinking about the bees, saying that, the honeybees are only 1/3 of the pollinator force we have. So if we lost them, there's a domino effect that happens if we lost honeybees in their in pollinating. What would fall next if that were to happen? So, what would happen if you were able to get rid of mites completely? What in the series of events would fall because of that? Or is there actually technically a need for some of the mites? I don't know. I mean, they cause damage, they cause illness, but yet they're there for a reason. I mean, they attack these bees for a reason. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be devil's advocate. I'm just saying that you know, if you destroy and completely eliminate one factor on something, what else is going to fall or decline or benefit? I don't know.
Hmm. Well, I guess some
You know,
on some of that, we could go back to, let's say the mites started coming in, what, about 40, 45 years ago?
I think so. I'm not sure exactly.
All right. They haven't been here too terribly long. I reckon a good generation. So we could go back and look at how well colonies did, we'll say, pre 1960. And the only problems, like reading out of that bee journal, the only pest that I really pick up on reading, say, the 1800s and early 1900s, like we do on our little live, the wax moth was definitely an issue here in the States. And there was some kind of little fly. It kind of like a, not big as a house fly, but it would get in there and create problems and issues and colony collapse and that type stuff. So around here, we absolutely have our pests, and the bees, I'm gonna say they knew how to deal with them. Than us as beekeepers, we figured out little tricks of the trade to keep the wax moths out, figure out how to keep the little fly out. Like when the old timer was telling us about using the eucalyptus oil for wax moths. That come from a beekeeper and butcher. Lord, when I was a teenager, that man was well into his mid 80s, and but that's what he used. But he called it a eucalyptus drop. So I'm assuming it was like a cough drop or something along those lines is what he would put in and near his colonies to keep the wax moths out. But then you fast forward in time to where you have bees imported, and okay, here we go with the blasted hive beetle. Then here you go with the mites. All right. From my understanding, what I've read on the mites, that they come across the pond from Asia somewhere over there. So I see what you're saying as far as the nature portion of they served a purpose somewhere. Now, were they for bats to eat? You know, like the bats around here, they'll eat mosquitoes and things like that. Or I don't know if they had guineas over there, but you know, the guinea fowl, did they feed off of them just the same way as they feed off ticks here?
Yeah.
But whenever it came in, absolutely, they just had full run of taking over these colonies because either you didn't have the genetic of the Asian bee, I'll call it. And when I read, there's just a little bit bigger of a honeybee over there. And the beekeepers figured out different ways on top of the bees genetically keeping those rascals out of the colony. So now that we've got to figure all this mess out.
They're from the devil, DC says.
Oh yeah. I mean, they thankfully, as we say oftentimes on our live, thankfully we have them. We see them from time to time on drones, but we don't have the infestation like a lot of people do. Now we have the
I
infestation.
haven't seemed to have it either, really.
But like on our end, the hive beetle is our biggest issue. That is number one, way above anything else between the wax moth, varroa, or anything. That's what we have to concentrate on to keep out of our colonies. So I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers here, and I really don't mean to, but
It's free speech, brother.
I know that, but on the live chats and hearing people talk, it's kind of like you're completing you're just going in a circle in a lot of the topics, because it's put a strip in. Well, this strip don't work if it's too hot outside. You know, you got to put this strip in during times, or you got to wait for brood breaks. The oxalic acid you can only do during certain times. That helps a little bit. And a lot of people want to say, well, I'm not going to do it unless I see the science. And what I look at it, I try to go to like a common sense level on some things. And like just doing my little bit of research from, and the only reason we picked up on it on the mite end, I don't have no interest really in figuring out the mite, going in depth with it. But just hearing everybody else talk, I'm like, what in the world, what are the people over there in Asia doing? Or what steps have science here in the States done to figure out? And you have like in the, the National Institute of Health, I think it is. Y'all, there's a huge study to where all these scientists tried out the different essential oils. And if you go through, they have laid out what works, what doesn't work. This was the best thing that works. And we had like, I'm just going to take a shot in the dark, you know, say using thiamol. We know oftentimes thiamol is used in many of the treatments, especially, you know, you do your different strips, what have you. Well, there's a chart in there that shows where they use thiamol, they use peppermint, they use spearmint, thyme, all of these essential oils that they used, and they made a chart of which ones work the best. So why not try some of these and to see if they actually work, instead of going in this complete circle all the time of oxalic acid and these different type of strips. Try something else that science has already proved to work. That's just one thing that kind of bumfuzzles my mind of, you know, why not try it? They already said it works. Or do you just not want to try it because everybody else isn't doing it? And you don't want to be that guy? I don't know. Like I told her, she's telling me take a deep breath, but I don't understand why oftentimes it seems like if one person says something, especially in the YouTube world, in the beekeeping, that, well, this is the way to go. Well, then once again, you're going into this circle of, well, it's killing them. Then, you know, a month or two later, well, I had a colony collapse because I had 100 mites in there. Well, if this one thing isn't really working, why not try something else? Especially if you can use something that is a natural repellent or killer versus sticking a chemical base inside your colonies.
Jeremy says, well, you know, well, the countries that have no issues just let the bees evolve, and no one treated, and the bees evolved. Other countries have treated and kept them from dying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a point, you know. Is our treat, well, when we started treating for it, did we start treating it too early type of thing, and the bees did not have a chance to you know, suffer the losses, and you know, and then build their own immunity against the, you know, this pest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they're afraid, because I guess everybody's afraid that if they died, they weren't going to have bees. You know, I mean, it could be, you know, you could look at it that way, or, you know, is it something else in our environment that keeps these mites resilient to dying to some of the stuff we put on them or treat the bees with?
All right, here's another one that me and you have discussed this, and I cannot get anybody to answer this question for me. Every time I've gotten on to the bigger guys that have the certificates of this and that, and master whoever in beekeeping. I've asked this question in many, many chats, and it's like it's overlooked. But since we own this, say for us down here, all right, once again, we don't see a whole bunch of problem and issue with the mite. Okay, this is my theory. I've went and looked and researched what plants we have around here, and we'll go to the oxalic acid portion, or plants that carry oxalic in that plant. Well, we've got Carolina jasmine, Virginia creeper. If somebody does any kind of planting of turnips, collards, mustards, or we have, especially during the wintertime, we have fields and fields of wild turnip. I mean, you'll see them yellow flowers all out in the fields out there everywhere. Okay. Here's my question. If by chance them bees, they already know to go get propolis for whatever it is to keep the colony decontaminated and healthy. They use the different saps and the propolis for whatever God has provided them on that end. So with the bees coming in contact with so much floral and plant variety down here that carry the oxalic in the plant, does that help reduce the numbers for us? Versus, say, if you get up further north, you may not have as much as the wild turnip or any of the greens that people grow for a regular garden, or your Carolina jasmine, your Virginia creepers, and things like that. I'll hush for a minute.
Well, DC made a comment about the bees, that the Asian bees usually are smaller, or basically they're saying they're smaller colony sizes. And it says many of the bees that have control on the mite issue do in their own natural small colony state, not a huge colony, at least for the videos you've seen. So is some of our problem the fact that we try to have larger colonies for the honey crop? Are we doing it to ourselves? Would be a thought too. Maybe they do have a better way of dealing with them in the smaller group setting than in what we try to grow into for pulling honey.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. But think about your feral colonies. Look at how huge some of the feral colonies are down here. And that colony may be 4 or 5 years old, as far as just bees being in a bee tree. All right. You go to Mr. Jones's house and he says, "Oh boys, them bees have been up there about 5 years and they swarm out every year. But I see them all the time and they don't ever go away." All right, what are those feral colonies doing to prevent colony collapse from mites? Or whenever somebody does a cutout, they do a mite wash and they either have extremely low numbers or none at all in the feral colony.
Well, you think about it when they swarm. What do they have? They have a brood break. You know, that's what they contribute the Africanized bees out west. They say that that's one of the ways they handle that. Not that they don't have mites, but they control them by having the brood break. You know, and that's what, you know, the wild feral bees, they grow to a point in their device where they're living, and then they swarm. So, and then some people also said too that swarm brood breaks help with limiting how many mites we have in our colonies.
Mm-hmm. Like Jeremy said, every time they swarm, they get a brood break, and we try to keep
Yeah.
them from swarming. Now, will you move on from
Yep.
the mic, please?
Okay, I'll get off of it. She told me to get off the mic. I'll get off of them, y'all. My
If
part.
y'all only knew how many times he asked me the same questions over and over, like I'm gonna have a new answer.
Why?
Move on.
Why?
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I see we do what we do to try to prevent, collapse in the colony is what I'm trying, what I'm saying is that, but is that the right approach? I mean, yeah, we need to treat every now and again. I understand that there's other things involved besides just the mite. You got diseases and everything else.
Mhm.
But, and they found out that, sprinkling a little bit of antibiotics on the top of a hive helps a lot of that, from time to time. So, I mean, I just sit and ponder that sometimes too. Is like, where are we really going with that, Because it's since I started, that's all you hear. You hear about mites here, mites this, mites that, treatment this, treatment that, non-treatment. This is why I non-treat. Or minimal a treatment minimalist. And I'm not trying to tell anybody not to treat or whatever. Just look at what we're doing. Try to see why we're doing what we're doing.
Well, I mean, me neither. I'm just thinking there's other methods out there that are proven to work, and everybody wants the science. Well, why not try these other methods to see if it works for you?
Oh yeah, you take a portion of your colonies and make them a, you know, your little test group to see how it does.
Mhm.
Don't treat all of them. Don't do it, to the rest of them. Just take a little segment of them and see what happens. But I think a lot of our problems too is that it's like I'm saying is like some of Monsanto and stuff. God, I'll probably get banned for this. But you know, the treatment stuff that they add to the genetics on the seeds that they put out. The neonicotinoids and stuff like that are in plants and some of the herbicides and the pesticides we use. How is that degrading the effect of our bees? How much was it actually in our hive, whether we know it or not? That affects that bee's health, and and because the mites are there, those two together end up bringing your colony to collapse. And then it may not be just the mite. The mite precipitated it because of the health of the bee from being exposed. So I mean,
So, like you're saying, on top of that, you've got whatever chemicals are being sprayed on your crops or whatever's being genetically modified into a seed is also creating exposure, maybe small amounts, but just enough to create distress within the colony.
Yeah. I mean, and DC says,
Oh, I'm done. I'll get off there.
What DC what DC says, Washington has a lot of organic yuppies, and I don't care what you do. I don't think you can get a true organic, even with having heirloom seeds. You're not going to get a true organic because something's going to drift in, something's going to come across the fields, and get and have problems with your crop somehow. Your Monsanto has a thing one time where this one farmer on one side of the road was raising just regular corn, and they had their seed on the other side, and it cross-pollinated to the other side of the street. Their pollen from the Monsanto tree, the seeds that Monsanto created, pollinated the corn on the other side of the field too. Well, now that becomes Monsanto's product because they're they're pollinated regular corn. See, and the person that planted that didn't have any problem with with what he grew, but it became a problem because of Monsanto, and they're trying to keep their trade secret, I guess.
Mm. But you're gonna have
There's
cross
been,
pollination.
yeah, even with organic plants, you're gonna have cross pollination because someone down the street may have something that's a frankenseed, and it pollinates. The bee pollinates that, comes back and pollinates yours. How you can't control it,
I don't know. I ain't got much argument on that one. I haven't dug into the science on that far.
That's why I'm saying there's nothing. I don't think there is anything truly organic. You can be close as organic as possible. Well, organically grain fed, grass fed cattle. Well, that's a loose term. Your cows may graze out. They stick their head through the fence on the other side, and they're eating the grass out of someone else's field. So now they're grass fed. Because they ate grass. They're grass fed, and then they may not really be. They just happen to eat some grass. DC says grow it in the greenhouse.
Asked him, he kept saying, "What? Yes, you can." And I missed something because I can't listen and type at the same time.
Yeah.
So I asked him, "You can what?" And he said, "Grow it in a greenhouse." But I completely missed what y'all were talking about, and then I saw his comments.
Okay, I mean, if you do it in a controlled environment and keep it locked in, and if you do pollination, however that works, whether you use, an enclosed greenhouse, all right, then you use fans maybe to create the wind effect to help pollinate whatever doesn't need to be pollinated by a pollinator. Those type plants.
Yeah, I can understand it in small. You probably could in small quantities, but with what you got it in stores across the country, that's not grown all grown in greenhouses. I mean, and that's what they're marketing it as. So
Well,
I think maybe you can in small settings make it organic, but that's in your own environment, your own controlled environment. But to produce it on a mass scale for the whole country is not feasible.
Well, most everything you buy nowadays is some kind of the seed been genetically modified, or it's been put into where the herbicide or pesticide is in the seed. So whenever the plant grows, it helps to keep off the white flies or any kind of critter to get on there and chew and kill up your crop. But I'm sorry. I don't know. There's just there's unanswered questions, I guess.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot for people to chew on. Hello, Grayson again. He must take a break, fell asleep, took a nap or something. He's back.
Oh, hey, bud. Is he on there?
Hey, Grayson, come on. Why don't you talk about how your bees are doing? I know you're north of me here, up towards Troy, Alabama.
I'm done with my rant, buddy. Come on in.
Mr. Mike said, "Mama says mites are the devil."
Yeah, they're talking about how the mosquitoes are the devil too.
I will wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yes, we don't have enough bats. That is something we need. A bunch of bats.
I did notice when I was out in Austin, Texas, you didn't have many. There were mosquitoes, but it wasn't bad. But because they have a lot of bats in Austin, Texas, up there in the foothills.
These
So,
jokers
I mean,
around here about to knock you down when they land on you.
If you're small enough, they'll pick you up and coach you off.
Hey, this is a true story now. Me and Hannah went and looked at a job. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. And the house is close to the Mobile River Delta area. It was probably about 2.5 miles. If you cut through the woods, you'd have been at the Mobile River. And y'all, we pulled up in this driveway, and never in our lives have we seen so many yellow flies in our life. But
Oh, it was unbelievable.
when we pulled up in the driveway, if you think what Ian had going on in his yard, as far as the bees going out and being able to relieve themselves was something, man, the yellow flies that come up out of this yard was crazy.
Attacking the truck. It sounded like hail hitting the truck. They were slamming it.
There were thousands upon thousands, and we're not exaggerating numbers by any means. But we had to sit there in the truck, and the people called us on the phone and said, okay, they'll settle down in a few minutes. Usually we have to sit here about 15 minutes before we can run inside.
Like, with the car shut down for 15 minutes. I was like, there's no way I'd live here.
No.
There is no way.
No. So needless to say, we didn't do that job.
No.
And this is probably what happened to my numbers. I just noticed my numbers went down a bit.
Cayman just
Cayman.
went live, Danae said.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought it was my rant.
We can't compete with the big dogs, Ed.
My bad.
No,
Y'all got
not yet.
Cayman? Mhm.
Cayman come in and join in too.
Yeah.
Hear what he got. Hear what he got to say.
Mm.
Who will be
I
Who
was
will be
gonna
the
say
next big
something.
Stooges? Oh, Danae said she's staying here. It's more personal. He said, "Who will be?" Richard was saying, "Who will be the next? B Stooges? Maybe Cayman, Yappy, or who else?"
Yeah, I ain't
Mm.
touching that one.
Yeah, I just thought I'd put it out there because I thought it was funny. The three,
Mhm.
the Three Stooges.
I'm just saying, I'm not
Hey.
gonna nominate the third Stooge.
Well,
What?
no.
We don't want to. We got to get it all set in stone, but we're trying to work on something of let's bring our B chats together. Everybody. It don't matter.
I don't think there's a screen big enough for all the beekeepers in our group to go live.
Well, I'm talking about like
Literally.
the ones of us that go live. Every week, I mean, every day of the week, there's somebody going live. And we sent an email to one fella, and he accepted our invitation. We just got to get things lined out to have him on. But my greater plan is to, we often talk in our B chat of the fellowship end. Well, y'all, why don't we all come together and just set an evening up? And it don't matter whether you like us and you got, thank the Lord, we're getting folks in the chats anywhere between 30 and 60 people in our chats kind of thing. We're grateful for everybody that comes in and listens to us just jaw about whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you got some folks that they'll have several hundred or 100, 150 people come into their chats. And why not let us all come together and unite for once again the greater good of everybody. And talk bees. Not sell a product, not do anything like that. Let's sit down, talk bees, and help out folks in the communities, whether you got one colony or you got, you're a commercial guy and you're trying to figure out another plan on something else. But bring the information together, and it's just me, in my opinion, the whole point of these bee chats is to help one another to be able to grow and be a better beekeeper versus just not going those lines, I guess. I don't want to get too far out there and get folks fired
Well,
up.
You're wrong with that tonight.
I know it seems like it, but
but the thing is,
it's just
that
my
I
whole
don't-
point of let's work together.
Well, you can have a debate about stuff without being mean or dirty to each other about it. Sometimes I sort of see that a little bit here and there. I'll see something it may not be oblate, but you can pick up on it. But
Mhm.
We all should be able to communicate and say what we think, and you should have the right to say you don't think that, and not be a big nasty argument or complaint, with each other. Still be
Yeah,
friends.
we disagree politely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we
Whole
agree
point
to
of having
disagree.
dialogue.
Politely.
Yeah.
But come together,
Well,
let's join and help each other, and not look at one person over another, I guess is what I'm saying. Somebody may ask a question
sorry,
in the
guys.
comments,
Sorry.
and and their question may get overlooked because they're new to the chats. Well, if you have somebody that is popular in the group come in and ask basically the same question, well, it's going to get picked up just like that. And, okay, we'll make a big discussion out of it. Let's help everybody in the whole realm of things. That's just
DC
me and my opinion.
DC got a point here. Is the problem I see from this side of the monitor or chat groups? Cliques develop, especially when you come into a fandom, or you think you have some sort of notoriety.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know people sub to me. I know people like to hear me, but they also sub to everybody else or other people. I mean, I've seen DC. I'm not saying this nasty DC. I see DC everywhere.
Oh yeah, us
DC's in a
too.
lot, and the thing is that I go to see what people are talking about, what people are reviewing, what people are thinking, and I may go into a live. I may not say a whole lot, but I'm sitting there evaluating what's being said, because is it something that's going to help me, or is it something that somebody's off on a tangent?
Exactly.
If they are, it'll pan out in time. Or I can take something they say, or well, maybe. What's the thing? That's the thing about dialogue with other people, is the fact that I may not think something works, but something they say sort of makes me say, well, maybe it might. I mean, let me try it and see. And I try it, it doesn't work for me. Well, it may not work where I'm at, because they may be in a totally different climate, or for their that's different, even if they're in the same area, part of the country. The seasons are pretty much the same. Something's different, and it doesn't work for mine. For where I'm at. Norman, get off of here. So that's the thing, is that, and yeah, they do start people start cliques, or they don't start them; they develop. So when the honeybee community comes together, it's a beautiful thing to see.
Well, I mean, that's what we enjoy. And I mean, to your point, we understand on our end, and we've mentioned this before, that not everybody's going to like Gunline Bees and Tim and Hannah sitting on there. Maybe because we don't get into depth on certain things, or, you know, we talk about Jesus too much on our chats. But we all have our style, and we're grateful for the ones that come in and watch us, and just the same as I know you are, Ed, for everybody that comes in and supports you as well. But we've got a common goal, and that goal is to be able to raise bees and to be successful in the beekeeping. So let's help each other. You know, take that brother that may be kind of lacking a little bit, if you will, and help them up and get them to the next level, just the same as us. We are not at all any kind of experts in beekeeping. Everything that we've done
No.
is 100% from the school of hard knocks. You know, if we run
Everything
into
I've
a
done is a
situation,
pure luck.
yeah, then we go, we'll
Well,
do
the
it.
grace of God.
Yeah. I mean, we'll do a little bit of research on, okay, how do we fix this? Or, you know, we'll go to Earl in the high beetle situation. You know, we were searching around everywhere trying to figure something to get rid of the hive beetles. And, you know, thank the Lord for Earl coming out and telling folks about the peppermint situation. Well, we took his advice, and it has worked wonders for us. It's just those small amounts of information to where we can help one another to grow and to be better beekeepers in the long run. It's just, I guess, my point of it.
Did you research about the melons Jeremy told you about?
No, I didn't, and I apologize about that.
Well, there's 10.
I didn't, brother. I do.
And maybe I should.
do. Go ahead, Ed.
Maybe I should change. Maybe I should change my chat. Something DC said something about being an outsider. I said yes, I was always an outsider and still am. Maybe we should be bee chats for the outsider, or outsiders for the bee chat. You know.
Right. I'm cool with that.
I told him maybe that's why we get along so good. I wasn't never accepted in them cliques in school either.
But I mean, me and Hannah, we don't roll that way. And as we said on our chats, that I'm grateful for the people that have good knowledge and that pass that knowledge along, and especially if it's useful to what you can do. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't idolize no man or no woman in any portion of my life, whether it's YouTube, movie stars, country music singers, anything like that. And me and Hannah especially don't do the whole click, if you will. We try to accept everybody for who they are and what you give. If you give us respect, then absolutely we're going to give you the respect back. Now, if you go to disrespecting me, then I'm going to come back at you just like anybody else will. I don't want to, but absolutely we'll have to take in.
Are you gonna let Ed talk on his chat?
I will.
I'm enjoying it.
I
But
don't mean to go off on a crazy,
He is just on a tangent tonight.
but
that way he'll
it's
be
just something.
relaxed for tomorrow.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I'll be idle down by tomorrow. I'll tell everybody y'all want to see my rant, go watch Ed.
Oh look, Ed, and they said the No Life Outsiders chat.
I saw that. I think that would go good.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll be looking for it next Saturday.
No Life Outsiders chat. Yeah. Well, you know, and the thing is, I never understood cliques. You know, I have always got along with everybody, or try to. Now it's rare that I find someone I don't like. If I don't like them, there's something wrong with that person.
Yes.
You know, but you know, I have no objections to people speaking their mind. You know, because the fact is, if I agree with it, I can agree with it. If I don't, I'll say I don't see that point. You know, and I don't got to argue, yell, scream, fight.
Yeah.
You know, you know, and that's the biggest issue. Man, that chicken sound like it's in your house.
It was right outside the open window.
Oh,
Everybody's
you have your window open.
everybody's getting up on roost. Sun's
Then
going
they
down.
said, "What's in your cornbread, Hannah? You got buttons all fired up."
Well, I mean, Ed knows. We've had conversations, and I wouldn't say I unload on him, if you will, but you know, we have conversations of this and that, and just like you saying, Ed, you'll have your opinion on it, and I have mine, but we respectfully respect one another, what we're saying. But oftentimes, yeah, we agree on things. Don't get us wrong, but
Yeah.
It's just what you got to get past that, I reckon.
Philip said, "I'd like to grow apple trees, honeybees, and snow white turtle doves."
Yeah.
He's trying to change the subject.
I'm done, y'all. I'm done. I get off of it.
He's really not though.
Yeah, when we turn
Well,
this camera
guys,
off, I'm gonna go.
yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
thinking I'm gonna call it so I can get something to eat myself here, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you who come on, and I'll tell you, like I say every time, God bless you and your bees. Be good, behave, and be hive.
Take care.
Y'all
Ed.
take care.
All right.
All right.
Bye.